The global farmers' revolution is happening around the world. We're going to talk about that tonight on the report from Tiger Mountain. Stick around and have a listen. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you've been watching the news, because if you've been watching our news, you wouldn't have heard anything about it. But around the world, if you look at independent media, if you look at media from various sources like RT or from even some Arab media, like Al Jazeera, and independent media, Russell Brand and, left or right, Tucker Carlson, you will find out that there has been a global revolution going on from farmers in Europe. Obviously, as part of the globalist agenda to enslave humanity, they are trying to basically almost force farmers out of existence, through overly taxing them, through, banning the use of some fertilizers or some pesticide or whatever. They're doing everything they can to make life difficult for farmers, to push as many people as they can out of farming so they can also conglomerate it into monopolies. So yeah, obviously part of this agenda is that they also want people to eat less meat, which is again another nonsense. Sure, if you want to eat more vegetables in your diet, sometimes that might be good for you, but they don't want to even give you vegetables. They want to give you bugs, ladies and gentlemen. As we know, Klaus Schwab said eat the bugs, and they want us all on a diet of bugs, living in their 15-minute cities inside a room about that big approximately. Obviously the farmers of Europe, of which there are many, have had enough, and they're bringing their tractors and their various farm equipment, and they're dumping manure onto the doorsteps of various globalist buildings, in Brussels or in Paris or in Barcelona, or it's even been happening in the UK. It's been happening all over the place, ladies and gentlemen, up in Scandinavia as well, ladies and gentlemen. So I think this is fantastic, and I think we should see some of it here, ladies and gentlemen, in Australia. Our own farmers who are equally under pressure with this absolute bullshit about climate change, ladies and gentlemen, which is nonsense, particularly for a country like Australia, whose carbon footprint is almost next to zero on a global scale, and also we have like 30 billion trees in this country and only about 30 million people, so there's like 1,000 trees for every single person. So that, Australia is carbon neutral already, but our farmers have been put under pressure. We need to look after our farmers. We need to look after food production in this country, just like the Europeans are doing. And obviously that's why they're fighting. And I think this is a huge fight. After the pandemic sort of brought everybody together to fight the globalists over their ridiculous totalitarian nonsense over the COVID disease. But now that COVID thing has faded away. This kind of revolution is kind of, coalescing behind the farmers. It's also happening in places like Canada. Obviously, they were great. There's the truckers, protest there that was big during the pandemic. That's been happening again in Canada. They're all coming together against people like Trudeau, globalist figures like Macron, who are all about bringing in this, kind of World Economic Forum agenda. And everybody's coming together. It's a global revolution, and there's people on the left and right in this movement. There are truckers and the farmers are on the left and right, and they're all coming together to stick it up the globalists, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what we should do. So we support that, and we salute all the brave farmers out there fighting the global insurgency against humanity. And keep the fight, and we support you. Thank you for listening.